Andy, you were a Conservative Party member and donor from 2009 to now. Between 2020 and 2020, you donated £270,000 to the Conservatives. Do you intend to donate similar amounts to Reform before the general election, the next one?
No, I've mentioned this morning I will donate a seven-figure sum to Reform.
So over £1 million?
Over £1 million. And I will also raise Reform more money than it's ever been raised for a political party in this country.
And Elon Musk said on X, on the announcement of your appointment, that this was, quote, interesting.
Yes.
Are you going to try and raise funds from him? And have either of you had conversations with Elon Musk or his team about donations?
We've had no conversations yet regarding donations. Elon's obviously very close to President Trump. Nigel's also super close to President Trump. As you know, he helped.
The mainstream media seems to be fixated on James Murdoch's past, despite focusing on the momentum of Reform UK. They're seemingly determined to bring the party down. In today's video, we'll be witnessing a heated exchange between Nigel Farage and Beth Rigby. Not only that, but we'll also dive into the latest news from across the country. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our growing community. First, Elon Musk has broken his silence on the possibility of donating to Reform UK, following Nick Candy's significant seven-figure contribution to the party. This morning, Nigel Farage declared that Reform UK is assembling a winning team to reshape British politics forever, and Musk responded by asking when the first electoral opportunity would be. Farage answered, pointing to the English County Council elections on May 1st, 2025, as the first step. Farage emphasized that Britain needs reform, and alongside several upcoming by-elections, another potential opportunity could arise with a high-profile defection to Reform UK. Former Conservative Minister Dame Andrea Jenkins, who joined the party recently as its 100,000th member after leaving the Tories, will represent Reform UK in the race for the new mayor of Greater Lincolnshire next May. Although Musk hasn't confirmed the rumors about his potential donation to Reform UK, Candy has expressed that the party would love for Musk to contribute. Now let's move on to the fiery confrontation between Nigel Farage and Beth Rigby. Watch this next.
Discrepancy.
Right. Well,
he
I haven't
said
seen
I
it.
pushed
I
her
believe you.
over.
I believe you.
But
I haven't seen the
that's the court
discrepancy.
document.
It's a spent
Well, what did
conviction,
he tell you
end
he'd
of
done?
conversation.
Well, what did he say he'd
Spent
done to
conviction,
you?
end of conversation.
His constituents.
I tell you what, we're busy, right? We're building a new political party. You are talking about a spent conviction from 20 years ago. What's happened is happened. Whether there are discrepancies or not, I don't know. What I know is he's a fine young man who's turned out really very, very well.
But for the victim,
he's a serving member of Parliament.
for him to imply that she was pushed over when the court document says he kicked her, that's difficult for the victim, isn't it?
I'll believe anything you say.
It's not what I say, it's what the court document says.
I haven't read
It's not what I said, it's a court document.
I don't know, it's 20 years ago. And this is why, and this is why the mainstream media like you are losing the affections of the British public. Let's worry about where we are today. Let's worry about where the country's going. Let's worry about the fact we're getting poorer. Let's worry about the fact that our communities are breaking down, that people are scared to walk on the streets of London wearing a watch or jewellery.
No,
I know.
And
you're talking about an inside Westminster story that you want to talk about.
If you want to professionalise the party, then these are questions people are going to ask. And if it was another political party and this has happened, you would expect me to ask them as well.
I have not heard you ask a single Labour minister about the case where a man was on the ground in Runcorn a few weeks ago and punched 5 times on the ground.
Has he not been suspended for that?
Suspended.
I thought he had the whip suspended.
Still a member of Parliament.
Have you? But you
still a member of Parliament.
But he has had the whip suspended, and they are investigating it.
We'll see.
Whereas what you're saying here is that the court documents are irrelevant. So
I'm saying a spent conviction is irrelevant. Okay. You're quite right.
What are your thoughts on this conversation? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, investment platform Tillit has issued a serious warning about Britain's growing retirement crisis, urging the government to take immediate action to raise minimum pension contributions. The company has revealed that over 80% of UK households are falling short of securing a comfortable retirement, calling for urgent reforms to avoid what they're calling a pensions time bomb. They argue that the current pension contribution rates are insufficient and changes are needed to ensure that people can retire comfortably. Despite earlier efforts by Chancellor Rachel Reeves to discuss pension reform, talks have stalled. Reeves recently traveled to Canada and Australia to learn from their pension systems in hopes of adapting some of their successful strategies to the UK. For instance, in Australia, employers are required to contribute 11.5% into workers' pensions, while in the UK, the minimum contribution rate is only 8%, with employers contributing just 3%. Felicia Heyman, CEO of Tillet, expressed frustration with the government's lack of action, especially after the Chancellor's previous promises to improve pension contributions. Mon pointed out that the government's inaction is preventing many people from being able to afford retirement, despite warnings that the current system won't work. Warnings that were first highlighted in the Lord Turner report over a decade ago. To address this, Tillet has introduced an innovative solution: auto-escalation. This new feature in their pension product automatically increases members' contributions over time, inspired by the Save More Tomorrow program that has worked successfully in the U.S. Mann emphasized that Tillet's main goal is to help people take control of their financial futures. Research by Pension B has shown that even modest contributions to pensions can have a significant impact on retirement savings. For example, putting £200 into a pension pot could boost savings by between £35 and £521, depending on how much time is left until retirement. Larger contributions, such as £400, could add between £68 and £1,039 to retirement funds. Becky O'Connor, Director of Public Affairs at Pension B, highlighted that with Christmas approaching, now is a great time for savers to consider redirecting some of their festive spending into their pensions. She suggested making a lump sum Christmas contribution to your pension, which could be a great way to benefit your future self. Finally, King Charles will be attending 2 royal engagements at Battersea Power Station in London on Thursday, marking his latest appearances at the historic site. He'll visit the curated Makers Christmas Market, meeting local traders and entrepreneurs supported by the King's Trust. Afterward, he'll tour Apple's UK headquarters at the power station, where he'll meet employees, community partners, and British talent, including Apple CEO Tim Cook. At the Christmas market, the King will be welcomed by festive music from the Battersea Power Station Community Choir and will visit various market stalls selling festive gifts and local products. He'll also meet young entrepreneurs supported by the King's Trust, as well as community leaders. Before leaving, His Majesty will unveil a commemorative plaque at Apple's offices and meet several notable figures, including artist Yinka, rugby players Jess Breach and Lou Meadows, and disability advocate Lucy Edwards. What do you think about today's topics? Let me know in the comments section below. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content on British news. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.